So in the previous video we talked about the measures of central tendency, and when we was talking about the measures of central tendency, which means that I wanted to represent this data over here in one number, by one number, and that number was mean. But we have understood that mean is not a suitable way of representation of data, right? So at times we wanted to pick up median value as well, right? And median values are the best representation of the data when you have outliers. So we'll talk about the definition of outliers as well, so don't worry like that what is the definition of outlier. So right now we understand that anything which is not following in the generic trend. So if you look at this generic trend is 43, 57, something like that, and then you have some values which are exceedingly high, right, or exceedingly low, right? So your outlier can be on both the sides, right? So if the values are having outlier values, right, and your series is having outliers value, then we go for median, and median is the best representation or a better representation of the data, which is not misleading at all. So if you see that the mean values of both the series were common, but the median value over here in this data are different. This represents better for this particular series, college number A. For college number B, 56 is the better representation of the data. Now there is the third way of representing the measures of central tendency, and that is called as mode. And what this mode value is, mode is nothing but the most frequent item. So you will say most frequent item in the data, right, in the data. Now if you just look for the most frequent item in this category, so you can see that 33 has been appeared once, 41 appeared once, and so on and so forth. 48 appears twice, 51 appeared 1, 1, 1, all the values appeared 1, only the 48 appears twice. And then if you just notice, the mode of this particular data is actually 48. Now this mode is of no use at all. If you think about this data, probably I will say some number which is close to 63 or someone, which is any number which is repeating more than like the highest frequent number in this data will be the mode, and that could be 79 also, that could be 98 also. Imagine one more guy got 98 as a package, right, 98,000 US dollars as a package. One more guy also got 98,000 as a package, then probably 98 would be the mode. So in this case, this number is useless because it is not, it cannot be used for representation of this particular column. And if this cannot be used for the representation of this particular column, probably this is useless, because all we want to represent our data, right? So now you must be wondering, like, why even on the earth we have actually created mode. And to make you understand, I have got another sheet for you which is called sheet 2, and I click on that and I show you something over here. Now in this case my mode will be effective. Now when I say that my mode will be effective, because the most frequent item, so first thing first, mode is very less, like it's almost negligible. It's not used for numbers. So when I say not, I would say not used for numbers. You will not use it for numbers because it might not make any sense, right? Numbers, you don't want to use it for numbers. You want to use it for categorical variables, right? And this categorical variable, or I can say probably I can say categorical variable, or I can say qualitative data, right? We know what is qualitative data, right? Qualitative data, right? This qualitative data is which has been represented in numbers. So I can just simply take a the number over here, and I can say that this is the mode. So if I say mode over here, mode will be equal to F, and that makes sense because I just wanted to know what is the most frequent number, either it is male or female. If it is female, then probably I would say this is like a female oriented college, right, where you have more number of females. Or if you have male more, then I can have a different inferences altogether, right? For example, number of people walking into a supermarket or number of people walking into a fashion store, more number are male or female, right? However, if you want to take out mean, it might not make sense, because it will say like 9.75 males were there and then 12.35 females were there. It doesn't make sense, right? You do not want to take out mean for this data, right? Neither you want to take out median for that data. You can't take out median for that data as well, right? So first thing first, you need to understand why you want mode. You always want mode for categorical variable or qualitative data, the data which can be expressed in text or in words. You want to use that data, and that's where your whole measures of central tendency revolve around, and that's pretty much it, right? It covers up everything, right? So if you have numerical data, probably you will go for mean or median. If you have categorical data, probably you want to like to go for mode over here, right? So this is something which you need to remember always. The measures of central tendencies are used to define your data. Now, is that it? That it does only divide the data or just shows you the data for this thing, right? So measures of central tendency, if you just look for the definition which I'm showing you right here: statistical description of data. Statistical describes a numerical set of the data by its center, variability and shape. Now this center is measures of central tendency, right, which we talked about. And measures of central tendency has got three values: mean, median, mode. And we know, right, why we use mean, median, right, mode, and we need not to specify those values, right? So I hope it is making sense to you, right? We need to understand the business context of why we use mean, median, mode. I can define that data, right? And in this case we have like male female category. Imagine we have 20 categories, and 20 categories, out of those categories we have A, B, C, D, right, or like different country names or something like that, and I can just wanted to find out mode, right, from the data. It is very helpful for me to understand what my data is actually talking about. So I hope it makes sense. What is the measures of central tendency? One topic which is left, where I will be talking about outliers, right, and we will understand what is outlier and blah blah stuff. We'll talk about everything in outlier, but we wanted to talk about more on data, right, and we wanted to understand what are the other factors which we need to look at while doing analytics. Is the mean, median, mode only the thing which will help us identify the context of the business, or we can do something more? So I'll talk about that in the upcoming video. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.